Welcome back to the House of Ajay, Oshun Ajay exclusive, and Unraveler TV on Bigo Live. So, this lesson is going to be about spiritual discernment. And I am going to start the video off with lesson 5. Some of the video, basically the retelling of my dream about the time of change, which was also lesson 5 of dissecting the devil. So if you did see some of the scenes in this particular video, it is because some of the clips that I'm using did come from lesson 5 of dissecting the devil, which again was a retelling of my dream about the time of change. This was a dream that I had over 20 years ago. It is unfolding around us as we speak, okay? And I want to parallel the dream with what's happening around us, and also to offer some solutions once we have been able to identify one of these discordant spirits as the driving force behind whatever energy that we may be receiving from a friend, a family, or a loved one, okay? Check it out. So this is my dream about the time of change. This is a dream that I had over 20 years ago, and it was prophetic. And the reason why it's very pertinent right now is that the time that this dream was foretelling is here. Okay, it is here and it has come. Okay, so this is the reason why it's important for you guys to know the details of the dream, and why I'm studying and teaching about narcissism, and exactly who the narcissists represent in the dream that I had, and why it's so important that we slay them. Okay, so without further ado, here is my dream about the time of change. So my dream began with the person that I was in a relationship at the time, and I were sitting next to one another on the couch in the apartment that I lived in with him at the time, okay? And above our heads were floating two huge butterflies, okay? The butterflies were two different types of butterflies, basically indicating to me that we were two different breeds of people, and that the relationship probably wouldn't last, okay? Because that was one of the questions that was on my heart at the time when I had the dream, okay? So not only were the butterflies above our heads, the one above my head was a monarch butterfly, which if you'll research the MK Ultra monarch mind control situation, there'll be a lot that actually unfolded for me going forward after I learned about the monarch butterflies and all that afterwards. But anyway, because this dream was over 20 years ago, by the way. But anyway, so what happened? Okay, so the butterflies were over our heads. I had a monarch over my head, and it was larger than the average butterfly. Okay, the butterfly that was over his head was a huge, silky, velvety, jet black butterfly that had a rim around it that was hot pink, very unusual looking, and it moved very beautiful and gracefully, and it was very beautiful. So basically, but that's not the point. The point was that those butterflies were there, and the message for me, about them being two different ones was again that that was not the relationship, and I'm not in that relationship right now. But also there were butterflies of different sizes all over the house, all throughout the apartment, okay, all the way from the front to the back. So I got the overall message that it was the time of change, which is why I call this dream, because it was a prophetic dream, the time of change. Okay. The next scene from that was that I was at my job. Okay. So I was at work. It was a typical office setting. People had their desks. Some people had cubicles, and the boss he had his own office that basically had windows that you can see through, but you basically couldn't hear anything if you were in his office, and he had a full view of the office. Okay, and of course I had a desk that was near his office. Okay. So one by one, he was calling in the employees. Okay, and before I go forward, I wanted to make a note that it wasn't a specific person who was the boss, but it basically was telling us about a specific type of person. Okay, so the boss was the typical, white guy, middle-aged, older white guy, wearing a dark suit. Okay, because in the first dream, when I was telling the first dream, I said that they would be wearing a black or a brown suit, and actually I didn't mean to say brown, I meant to say blue. Okay, so they were, the typical, like I said, middle-aged white guy wearing a black or brown suit. Okay, white shirt and a dark tie. So he was calling the people in one by one, and supposedly briefing them on something that was regarding the company. So this reminds me of when, in the book, when the devil said that kept talking about his coworkers, and he talked about how one by one he was indoctrinating like the teachers, the religious instructors, and people's parents to fulfill his agenda, as far as teaching the children how to drift, you know what I'm saying? Teaching the children his agenda and how to fulfill his agenda. I realized that was what I was witnessing in my dream. I was witnessing, these people one by one being hypnotized, being possessed in order to go out and possess other people. Okay, that we worked for. Okay, so me being, curious as I am, I was wondering why, if this was a briefing about the company, why was he calling people in one by one and not, just briefing everyone in one big meeting. Okay, so I began to be curious and I began to listen to what was being said in the meetings. So one by one, he would call them in and he would leave the door open, and again, my desk was very close to the door. So I just tuned in and I noticed that he was saying things about the company. But in between those words, there were other words being spoken, words that were in Latin that I, at the time, did not know the meaning of. Also, there was a second voice that manifested as a devilish undertone. In his voice. Okay, so that how you've heard it on movies, when a person is possessed, you hear that second demonic voice. Okay, so I heard that in his voice, and then when the people, after getting the briefing, because what was happening was that they didn't hear those extra words that he was slipping in. They were like subliminal. For some reason I could hear them, okay, but they didn't. They only heard the words that he was saying that were regarding the company. So when they came out of the office, they also had that demonic undertone in their voices, and they didn't know it. So basically what was happening was these people were going into his office one by one being possessed, and they didn't even know it. And I remember in the book him saying, talking about how they were going about and doing his bidding without even knowing it, which basically took me back to my dream, because that's exactly what I was seeing. These people being indoctrinated and possessed and coming back out having this evil spirit within them and being completely oblivious to what had happened to them. So they would come out and they were possessed and didn't even know it. Okay, so moving forward, and I'm going to come back to where I am. Well, let me go finish with the dream. Okay, so they were possessed. Okay, so I noticed that what was happening, and I was like, oh hell no, you know what I'm saying? I am not going in here, because I see what's happening. I got to find a way to get the hell up out of here, and that was my goal. Okay, so I'm looking for a way to get up out of here. And let me mention that there was a security guard that stood by the door of the office, okay? And this security guard was not human, okay? Because he did not speak words. He made grunts, okay? Like, And when he would make those grunts, you did... he was communicating what he wanted to say. You did understand what he was meaning, but he didn't speak, okay? He was not completely human. For some reason, in the dream, this was normal, okay? So I go to the boss who trusted me, and I told him, look, I got something in my car. Well, first of all, let me back up. I noticed the reason I mentioned the security guard was because when I first noticed the people coming out and they were possessed, I decided that I was going to leave. So I tried to get up and just walk out, which I had always been free to do. And this is when the security guard made this grunting noise and a gesture like, telling me basically you can't leave, right? So I'm like, oh, you got me messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm not one of these people and you're not keeping me up in here. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that I had to be cunning. So I go to the boss. Like I said, he trusted me. I said, look, this motherfucker is trying to not let me out of the door. I need to go get some shit out of my car. What's going on? So I was pretending not to know anything about what was going on. And, like I didn't know nothing. And it was a regular day and I was trying to go get something out of my car. However, the security guard, again, who was not human, he knew that I had figured it out. Okay. But the boss, who was the one who was possessing the people, he did not know. Okay. So the boss told the security guard to let me out the damn door and leave me alone. Right. So I was like, yeah, motherfucker, move, so he moves out of the way. He lets me out the door, but he didn't trust me. So he's still looking at me and kind of following behind me a little bit, and so I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's following me and shit. So if I go to my car and get in, it's going to cause this big ruckus, you know what I'm saying? Or he's going to try to stop me. I'm going to have to fight this big motherfucker or whatever. So when I went out the door, he was kind of following behind me, but at a little distance, and he was walking kind of, he wasn't really right behind me, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of making sure I go to my car. So when I get outside the door, this girl pulls up, okay, in a station wagon. It was a white girl. Blonde white girl. She pulls up. I get in the station wagon because she has a car full of a few other employees in the building who had figured it out. And they was like, get in, get in, get in. So instead of trying to fight him to get in my own car, I just jumped in the car with them because I didn't give a damn. I was just trying to get away. Okay. So when I get in the car with them. So the girl, it's a long ass station wagon. I remember there was other people in the car. There was one other black person, which was a black man whose leg was broken. Okay. And that stood out because we had to keep the back of the station wagon open. You know how they have that little door that flips down? Well, we had to open that. And I remember him sitting in the very back of it. There was a couple of other people back there with him, but his leg had to stick out of that door because he had a cast on his leg and his leg was broken, which is very indicative of a black man in this war being partially crippled. Okay. So anyway, there was other white people in the car. I remember the girl, there was another girl, white girl. There was me. I think everybody else was white men. And then when we got to her house, which was out in the country, this is where she drove us to, a small little, modest little house out in the country. And we get there and we're all discussing what had happened and what we had seen. Okay. And so I'm telling them about what I noticed and what made me run out of the door, of the place. And she had two little brothers that were there. Okay. And I'm going to come back to the two little brothers because they're very significant in the story because they were children. Okay. They looked to be maybe between the ages of 7 and 9 years old. Okay. And the children were significant because the devil admitted in the book that children are his main target demographic. Okay. I was telling everyone while I'm telling them about what I seen, I told them about the words that I heard in Latin. And the little boys, because they read these like comic books that were based on the occult and things of that nature, they knew what the words meant. Okay. And they started saying the words. Okay. And as they were saying the words, this demonic undertone in their voices began to rise up in them. Okay. So the same way that I would see it appear in the other people at work. Okay. And so I just, naturally, because they were children, I just grabbed them and shook it out of them and told them, don't say that. Don't say that. And so as I would shake it, was shaking them, I saw that spirit, go away from them. Okay. Fly up out of them, basically. And so after right after I shook that spirit out of them, we heard like a racket at the doors and windows, right? So we look up, and this was like a scene in a movie, I swear. We look up, and We look at the windows, we look at the doors and everywhere, and all we see are faces. Like there was no clear spot on the doors or the windows. Every single spot on the door or the window or any spot that you could see through was covered with the face of a demonic person. Like, so basically what it represented and what it was symbolizing was that the whole world was possessed, okay? And they didn't even know it, but they were after us, who were, like I said, 5 adults and 2 little boys, okay, that were in the house who had not yet been possessed, and they were trying to get to us, okay? So what I knew was, in my heart, was that we had to fight these people, okay? So this war was going to come. We knew in our hearts that were already promised the victory of this war. We were not afraid of these people. We just were taking in the sheer volume of people that we were going to have to fight. We knew that we were going to win because somehow the knowing was put into our hearts. We knew that we were going to have to fight, but we had to fight like the whole world. So it basically represented 5% of the world who were empathic in nature, okay, and 2 children. And then the whole rest of the world, being 95% of the world, being narcissistic in nature, okay? And so, again, knowing we were going to win the fight, that did not take away the fact that we had to fight, meaning that we may lose something. You could lose a limb, you could lose an eye, you can lose some of your faculties, you might get hurt, you will get hurt, you are going to take some blows, you're going to take some L's, but at the end of the day, the victory is yours. Okay, so that was how the dream ended, with us looking up, evaluating the fact that we were surrounded in this little house. Okay, and the house always represents your soul, yourself, within yourself, surrounded by these demonically possessed people, and knowing going in that we were going to win the fight, and that we had to fight. Now, that's how that dream ended.
Their condition is connected to the demonic realm, okay? So we clearly need a wider focus here.
Why must there be a war, you ask? Let's listen to Vaknin, who's a self-proclaimed diabolical narcissist.
According to Vaknin, going back to him, extreme trauma can sometimes break, quote unquote, a diabolical narcissist. He claims that's what happened to him. He says he's still a diabolical narcissist and a psychopath, but that he became more self-aware when he was arrested and put in prison. Given how widespread diabolical narcissism is now in today's culture, it's terrifying to think of how extreme a trauma will be needed to reform an entire civilization. Because that's what we're talking about here. Something is going to have to happen that is so bad and so traumatic that even the diabolical narcissists are shaken by it.
The malignant or diabolical narcissist is literally the host for the energy that we call the devil on earth. Therefore, the war, the clash, is going to be with those who are the hosts for the energy that we call God on earth. Love versus hate, light versus darkness, and the empath versus the narcissist.
This is a terrifying thing to think about because this implies just catastrophic war and likely civilizational collapse. Rampant worldwide diabolical narcissism was foretold by our Lord in the Gospels. Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity hath abounded, the charity of many shall grow cold. What does that mean? The charity of many will grow cold. People will be incapable of love. They will purge all love out of their hearts. And Luke 18:8, the Son of Man, when he cometh, shall he find, think you, faith on earth? Mass apostasy, which implies mass diabolical narcissism.
which is now an epidemic because the devil successfully implemented his plan from 1938, which was to cause mass fear, where he could cause mass hypnosis and therefore mass diabolical narcissism.
Those who know about and understand diabolical narcissism and can recognize it when it enters their life and even attacks them personally have far better odds of surviving it and not becoming diabolical narcissists themselves.
So the reason why I teach about this subject and the reason why I may appear to be quote unquote obsessed with it, because someone said to me the other day, you are obsessed, okay, with this subject, right? And I thought about it, and I would have to agree with this person at the end of the day, because I am obsessed with the subject of narcissism due to the fact that we're in a time that I was shown over 20 years ago in a dream, a very significant time where there would be people who were being possessed, and these people didn't even know it. And these were going to be the people that were going to be used in a war against myself and others like myself.
What's up, man? It's your big brother, TransGenius, man.
Things are revealed to people like me ahead of time so that we can act as messengers going before the others to help them prepare for what is coming.
I don't know who watching this video, but if you watching this video, I'm pretty sure you feel like people don't like you. You feel like everybody hates you. People don't want to support you. You know what I'm saying? They don't see the best in you and all this and that. I'm about to tell you why it's going on, man. I'm about to tell you why people is treating you like this, man. Listen, man. I think I'm probably like one of the only ones that still like to come in nature, man.
So, being the intuitive empath that I am, when I watched this video, I could feel that Big Brother Trengy was feeling nostalgic and missing the time when he felt more connected to the collective, to his quote unquote family members, and also to the former self that he is leaving behind and shedding, even as we speak, as we go through this transformation that I saw a lot of people going through in my dream. Again, it was symbolized by the butterflies that I saw everywhere. So Big Brother Trengy is obviously one of the remnant, the elect, the quote unquote chosen ones who were represented by the butterflies that were everywhere in my dream. If you are also one of those chosen ones, you are probably going to be feeling a lot like Big Brother Trengy right now, who is feeling very much alone.
Because I'm lonely as fuck. Here's the real true shit, man. Everybody gonna hate you, man.
If you belonged to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you.
It's so hard right now for everybody, man, in the world. Because it's the end times. You know what I'm saying? These the end times. Like, I can proudly, safely say that now. I used to be scared to, like, say that these are the end times. Like, the world is coming to an end. But now I'm proud to say it. I know it for a fact. It's just like, you shouldn't have to feel like this. You shouldn't have to feel hated.
If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first.
Like, you shouldn't have to feel like why you don't got no friends. Why people don't gravitate towards you no more. Why people don't like you no more. Why people always trying to start shit with you all the time.
Remember what I told you. A servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teachings, they will obey yours also.
Stay tuned through this whole entire video. And if my video resonate with your spirit and your soul, man, make sure you subscribe after this video. People can't stand to see somebody that's being themselves. when they not being themselves. You know what I mean? You're going to have so many people that hate you, man, just because you expressing yourself. You expressing your personality. You showing that you a leader, that you confident, that you not like all the other girls. Girls is going to start hating you because you love yourself, man. People will start hating you because you love yourself, because you want to match your colors and stuff together. You want to wear designer shit. You don't want the little low-grade fabrics and shit that'll fucking start crinkling and wrinkling and tearing apart. You want to buy the valuable shit. People will hate you because of this, man.
They will treat you this way because of my name, for they do not know the one who sent me.
It's crazy, but it's true. It's a sad truth, man. People will hate you because you getting in shape. Oh, because you go to the gym, you work out, you get your body in shape and everything. You getting some muscles. Now they don't like you no more because you working out. Damn, I thought we all supposed to be healthy. That's why I know the world coming to an end, man. But it's a new beginning for the chosen ones. It's coming to an end for these Decepticons and the people that's hating on you. But it's a new beginning for us.
Hey, Divine Ones. It's Latoya O'Kill. Y'all come in. I'm just going to give everybody time to see that we live. Because I got a very, very important message for y'all today. Very important message for y'all today, baby. We're going to be talking about some of these spirits. Baby. So, yes. Y'all come on in. Respect the anointing. Respect it. Because I'm telling y'all, the devil so bold with his ugly self. He's so bold, he'll come in on the word, baby. He don't care. He'll come in when the word going forth, folks being delivered, folks being broke free, strongholds being broken, and he'll come in with his ugly self trying to sow discord and trying to stir up some confusion. So if he do, because he might come in, I'm talking about the devil, y'all. If he do, because he might come in after I done gave this disclaimer and he ain't hear that part. So if he do come in and y'all see somebody down there in the comments saying some foolishness, ignore them, okay? Don't give the devil no shine. Don't give him no glow, baby. Don't give him no juice. Let him dry out. Let him die of thirst. Because he thirsty and he wants y'all attention. He wants y'all focus. He wants y'all energy. He don't want your energy directed towards this word. Because he know when you get this word, baby, you going to mount up with wings like an eagle. You going to run and not be weary. You going to walk and not faint, baby. You going to come up with a whole nother strength. And see, the devil don't want that. So he come on stuff like this to try to get y'all's attention. So if y'all see something in the comments, don't even pay that mess no mind. Just focus on the word, okay? I talk about chosen ones all the time. I talk about God. You are God's chosen one. You are God's anointed one. You are a divine one. You came from God. You are of God. You were made in the image and the likeness of God. I talk about that all the time. And I want y'all to understand that the devil does not like that. He don't like the fact that you coming into your divine consciousness. He don't like the fact that you waking up to your power, that you waking up to what God has placed on the inside of you. He can't stand that, baby. So what you got to understand is, as you on your way to the promised land, because that's where you going, baby. You on the way to the promised land. You God's anointed one. You God's chosen one. And you on the way to the promised land. What is the promised land? The promised land is everything that you've been praying for. It's everything that you've been waiting on, baby. I'm telling you. God say, but it's a mindset. He said you gotta come into the promised land in your mind first. You got to start thinking and talking and walking and acting like you already got what you prayed for, and then soon it's gonna be in your hand. You coming into a season where you about to be face to face with everything you've been praying for. You about to be face to face with everything that you've been waiting so patiently. You about to be face to face with it. What I want you to understand is some spirits that you're going to have to watch out for. Do you understand me? The enemy knows that I got you in your preparation season. Come on now. Somebody put that in the comments, baby. Say, this is my preparation season. God is preparing you for everything that you prayed for. I feel the power of God. God is preparing you, baby. You in your preparation season. A lot of you being hid. You ready for your time. You ready for your moment. You like, when is it going to be my moment? When is it going to be my time? But I came to let y'all know today, baby, if you being held back, you being held back for purpose. Come on now. If you being held back, you being held back because when the Lord release you, baby, you going to shoot out of a cannon. When the Lord release you, baby, you going to catapult. He going to catapult you into your destiny, and you going to blow right past these folks. So if you're being held up, understand this your preparation season. God is perfecting some things on the inside of you. It's some things that got to be taken care of within you before you get to the big stage. It's some things that got to be perfected in you before the Lord puts you up there on that platform. These are some spirits that y'all need to watch out for, okay? Now, the first spirit, that spirit of jealousy, baby. Y'all coming hand to hand. Y'all coming face to face. Y'all doing hand to hand combat with this spirit of jealousy, baby. There's some warfare that been taking place up in here. God said it's some folks, and let me tell y'all, he said it ain't just the spirit of jealousy from out there. Come on now, y'all got to receive this today. He said it ain't just jealousy out there. He said some of this stuff is inside of you. You. Okay. Okay, y'all know what they say. Be careful when you point that finger, baby, because how many you got? You got 3 pointing right back at you. Be careful when you point that finger. So when I speak these spirits, I don't want y'all to just look on the outside and think of it as something from the outside is attacking you, because some of this stuff is internal. A lot of your battle is internal. A lot of it ain't always, oh, they jealous of me, they jealous, they hating on me. No, a lot of times you got to go within and you got to check yourself. Do you understand me? This go for me. This go for everybody, because I don't care how well you think you doing your thing, baby. It's always somebody out there that's doing it better than you, okay? It's always somebody out there that's looking better than you. They sounding better than you. And God said you got to stay in your own lane and don't worry about them folks. You got to learn how to be content. You got to learn how, like the Apostle Paul said, no matter what state you in, learn to be content. Learn to be okay. And these first 2 spirits that I'm going to give y'all 3 today. 3 spirits to watch out for. These first 2 spirits that I'm going to give y'all, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. But first, we're going to hit on this spirit of jealousy. What is jealousy? Bitterness. Bitterness. God said this bitterness is coming at y'all from other people. And then he said for some of you, you still holding on to that bitterness on the inside of you. And he said you bitter over other people's happiness, or either they bitter over your happiness. Come on now. They bitter over the move of God in your life. They angry, they upset because of what God is doing in your life, because what God doing in your marriage, because what God doing in your relationship, because what God doing with your children, with your finances, not realizing that the same God that bless you can bless them. Come on, somebody. You ain't got to be mad at me about what he doing for me. All you got to tell, some of y'all need to tell these folks, instead of you getting mad at me about what God doing for me, you need to be trying to figure out what I did. You need to be trying to figure out what was it that you did? What did you have to, what kind of internal work did you have to do to get that blessing? What kind of books did you have to read? What kind of courses did you have to take? Because if you got some sense, you know that you ain't gonna get something for nothing. So if God is blessing these folks, if God is elevating these folks, you better try to find out what they did to get it, so you can get yours, instead of being upset, instead of letting the spirit of jealousy sneak in and cause you to miss out on your blessings. These folk mad because God done stamped you. They mad because God done gave you the green light. They mad because you just got this natural talent. You ain't asked for it. You were just born with it. And folks will hate you, baby, just because you got a natural talent to do something. Just because you being obedient, and just because you carrying a spirit of excellence, these folk gonna hate you, baby. God prefers me. Oh, they gonna hate you, baby. Let me tell you something. Spirit of jealousy, and these folk gonna hate you because the Lord has preferred you, because the Lord has chosen you, because the Lord say, that's my chosen one. And they can't understand why he chose her over me. Why God chose him over me. Why? Because God looks at the heart. baby. And these people are operating with a spirit of jealousy. So he said you got to watch out for them, baby, because when the Lord has stamped you, when the Lord has anointed you, it's some spirits that ain't gonna like it. They just ain't gonna like it. I don't care how nice you try to be to them. I don't care if you come in there and buy them breakfast every day. I don't care if you come in there and buy them lunch every day. I don't care if you give them the keys to your car. Just because of the anointing that's on your life, they still gonna be hollering, well, I don't know what it is, but I just don't like her. I just don't like her. I just don't like him. I just don't like him. They can't tell you what it is. You know why they can't tell you what it is, baby? Because it's the unseen. It's the unseen, baby. They can't stand what's unseen in you. They can't stand the anointing of God that's on you. And they're going to do you. They're going to try to do you just like they did with Daniel. They're going to conspire. They're going to link up with other people. Spirit of jealousy. Now, that's what we're talking about. They're going to link up with other people. They're going to link up with other people that don't like you. They're going to link up with other people that ain't got nothing else better to do than to talk about you. Who am I talking to, baby? They're going to link up with people that got your notifications on see first. They're going to link up with people that live their life vicariously through your stories because they ain't got no lives. So they looking at what you doing because they know you can't see their name. All you see is the number, but you know they looking. They looking. They don't know what it is. It's just your energy. It's just your presence. It's the spirit. It's the anointing that you walk in. It's the consciousness that you walk in. It hold weight, baby. It hold weight. When you look at somebody and you start envying people because of what they have, or because of their relationships, or because of their marriage, or because they business is prospering and yours ain't, you got to immediately counter that spirit and start praying for that person to succeed. Send them a cash out. He said, get their cash out and sow it into them. He said, get their information, get their PayPal. And God said, you ain't got to tell nobody you did it. He said, because you're not doing it for nobody. You're not doing it for them. He said, you're doing it unto me. That's how you're going to break that spirit of jealousy. I'm telling y'all. Don't be sending no change. He said, I need you to make a sacrifice. I need you to give something that if somebody find out you did that, they say, man, you crazy. Woman, you crazy. You sent that woman that much money. You gave that man that much money. Yes. And when you do that, you showing God just how bad you want out of that spirit of jealousy.
People will compete with you when you're not even fucking competing with them. That's how I know the world coming to an end.
He knows the world is coming to an end because just like in my dream, he and a handful of others like myself are able to see that people have become possessed with spirits other than their own. According to Miss Latoya Okia, one of the spirits that people are possessed with and don't know it is the spirit of jealousy.
But I'm telling y'all, as I give y'all these spirits, you got to be conscious of the internal enemy and the external enemy.
So before we go looking at other people to be this enemy who is unknowingly possessed by these spirits, we also need to be looking within ourselves to see if we might be the one who is possessed by these spirits. Because one of the things that stood out in my dream about the time of change was the fact that the people that were going into the office and coming back out possessed absolutely had no awareness of the fact that they were possessed. They were possessed and didn't know it. And so before we go looking for the enemy, let's take an even deeper look at the inner me. Okay?
Do not take this one-sided and say, oh, Toya told us about 3 spirits that we need to watch out for today, so I need to watch out for these spirits, and you thinking they coming from the outside. Because the devil will fool you sometime, baby. It might not be the outside. It might be in you. So examine this on both sides, internal and external. Because Satan can't cast out Satan. Do you understand me? Until you get that enemy outside of you, that's when the real fight begins. That's when the real battle starts. How you going to fight something that's inside of you? You're going to be warring with your own self. You're going to be walking around here like a crazy person. So you got to get him out first. You got to get him out of your house.
So at the end of my dream about the time of change, if you guys remember, I was inside of the house, okay, with the other co-workers who had also noticed the people that were being possessed. So I'm realizing now that the people inside the house represented the chosen ones, and that the enemy was completely surrounding the house outside of the house. Okay. So in my dreams, whenever there's a house, this represents my soul, myself, my internal state of being. So when Latoya Okia talks about getting the enemy outside of the house so that you can actually see your enemy, so that you would be able to fight the enemy. It's hitting home because, again, working on the inner me, which equates to the shadow work and the inner child work that we all have to do as a rite of passage, that we all have to complete in order to get to that next level, which equates to healing and being healed.
Get him in front of you. Then you got an opponent. Now you got a real opponent that you can fight with. But as long as he on the inside of you, baby, you're going to be in a mess.
So conquering the inner me must come first, which again just equates to healing oneself. Okay. And once we have healed the self, the enemy that appears to be outside of us is clearly seen as something that used to be alive, something that before we healed ourselves, we used to breathe life into, something that we used to pour our attention and energy into. But now that we have awakened, now that we have healed, now that the enemy is no longer within us and it is outside of the house, we can see it for what it is. The zombies outside the house represent the shadows that have been evicted from the subconscious minds of humanity. But without the usual amounts of energy and attention that they have become accustomed to receiving, they won't live long. Think about the zombie movies, any zombie movie that you've seen. Zombies are the walking dead. They literally have no life in them. They have no energy. They can barely, stand up. They can't run. I never understood why zombie movies were so fearful for people, because zombies looked so easy to defeat. Which takes me back to my dream about the time of change, where, again, there were 5 adults in the house and 2 children. And yet, the entire world was possessed, and we knew we had to fight the entire world. And we had no fear in our hearts, because we knew that, no matter how much we appear to be outnumbered, we're literally fighting the walking dead.
Because most of the whole world is asleep.
So even though I'm telling y'all about these spirits that you got to watch out for, understand that they ain't got nothing over the spirit of God.
My mama called me evil yesterday when she was flipping out. Now, mind you, it wasn't my mama. Y'all know what it was. My mama called me evil for the first time in my life. She said, "You evil." I say, wow. This Decepticon done got me. This Decepticon was speaking to me. He said, "You evil." Spit on me. Like the 1960s shit back in the day.
I told you the first 2 go hand in hand. The next spirit is the spirit of greed. Spirit of greed. They go hand in hand. The spirit of greed. Listen to what it is. Self-centered. Self-centered. The universe revolve around you. Y'all know folks like this?
Sure do. I call them narcs.
The world revolve around you. Everything is about you. Everything is about the way you feel. It's just self-centered. Hungry for money, hungry for power, hungry for wealth. Ain't nothing never enough. And listen. I ain't just talking about them folks over there. Because y'all know how sometimes when the word be going forth, we be thinking, oh, that's for them folks over there. Okay. That's not for me. That's for them folks over there. No, baby. God said, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. He told me the same thing. He said, I'm talking to you. Because God said it ain't necessarily got to be money. He said, some of y'all hungry for likes. Okay. The spirit of greed is an intense and selfish desire for anything. For anything. We talk about anything. This ain't just about money. This ain't just about power. This ain't just about wealth. We talking about anything. These one-sided friendships, these one-sided relationships, these one-sided marriages, these one-sided business partnerships. God said you better watch out for the spirit of greed, because that's what done took over some of these folks. Long as them and theirs are eating, they don't care if you and yours starve. Watch out for that spirit of greed. Know it when it come up on you, and know it when it's trying to take over you internally. You're never satisfied. You're never content. You don't even realize that That literally things that I used to cry all night for, things that I used to pray to God for, I am holding them in my hand right now. Can I just be grateful for what I have? And you're never satisfied. You're never content. You're self-centered. You just want what you want for you, and you don't care about anybody else. Come on now. He said every time you operate in that, you push your stuff off. See, it was coming to you. It was making its way to you. It was making its way to you. But he said every time you operate with that spirit, you push it off. You're never satisfied. And if y'all have ever been in a relationship, or you ever been married, or you ever been friends, or you ever been connected to somebody like that, you know, baby, that is a frustrating season to be in. That is a frustrating place to be in. It's like, Lord Jesus, I don't care what I do. I go get the moon and bring it back, and it still ain't enough. It still ain't enough. That's the way Satan is, baby. Anytime you encounter something like that, you got to know. You got to know Satan. You got to know his agenda. You got to know his characteristics, and you got to know how he move. He make you feel like you need to be tap dancing. You know what I'm saying? He make you feel like you got to be walking on eggshells. He make you feel like you got to be, oh, let me do this. Oh, let me do that. Oh, let me do that. Okay, is that enough? You know, do you love me now? Do you approve of me now? Is that good? Are we okay? You know, is everything all right? That's the way Satan is.
It's also the way a narcissist is. Why? Because they are the hosts to that spirit on this plane.
It's an insatiable spirit. Come on now. It's an insatiable spirit. It's like trying to feed a child or feed an animal that ain't never full.
That's why I call them the unfillables.
They don't never get full. Because it's like these spirits, they don't have no bottom in them. They don't have no, these greedy spirits, they don't have a bottom. They don't have a bottom. We're not supposed to have a desire like that for nothing except God. When these spirits leave you, they want to leave you empty. They want to leave you stripped. They want to leave you with nothing. They want to rob you of your faith. They want to rob you of your anointing. They come in and they leech onto you like a parasite, and they just suck until you have nothing left. They want to destroy your relationships. They want to destroy your partnerships. They want to destroy your body, your health, your happiness, your joy. I mean, they come to steal everything, baby. It comes in as a thought. It's a thought that comes into your mind, and it's up to you to entertain that thought or not. But you got to stop it. As soon as it come in through that entry point, through your mind, you got to stop it. You got to stop it. But God said what a lot of people are doing when these spirits come in, he said you playing around with it. That, yeah, you just have that little, oh, you know, it's so cute. God said, why is you trying to pet a snake? Why are you all kiki-keying with a snake? Snake. Okay. Because the snake gonna do what's in his nature to do. He gonna bite you. See, God said we gotta know how to remove ourselves. Remove yourself, not only from a physical situation, but remove yourself from a spiritual situation. Cast these thoughts out of your mind when they come into your mind. These thoughts that say, oh, she thinks she all that. Oh, he think he all that. Look at him. Them folks don't think they all that. If the thought coming through your mind, then that means you think they all that. You got to be delivered from that. You got to cast that down. You counter that by giving an encouraging word, or by praying for that person, and by sowing something into their life. Sowing something that you really wanted for yourself. Don't just give them something that you didn't want, but sow something that it kind of hurt you a little bit to let that go. You want me to give them that? Yes, baby, you got to give them that. Give them that. Give them that bag. Give them that bag. Because it's going to break that spirit. It's going to break that spirit. The spirit of jealousy, the spirit of greed, they go hand in hand. This is the last spirit I'm going to go over with y'all today. And it is the spirit of manipulation. The spirit of manipulation, also known as spirit of Jezebel. Okay, the spirit of manipulation, baby. This is a controlling spirit. Do you understand me? This is a spirit that seeks to move you like a puppet. Like, have you playing by their strings? Have you doing what they want you to do? Have you saying what they want you to say? Have you going where they want you to go? And then you know what it is, because as soon as you don't do it, as soon as you buck on them, as soon as you be like, oh no, I ain't finna do this, I ain't finna do that. As soon as you step out on your individuality, God say this spirit, it hates people that can be individualized, like people that walk in their individual power and know who they are as one person.
Everybody gonna hate you for no reason. You gonna have people that's gonna try to pick a fight with you for no reason, man.
Y'all finding out today why a lot of these folks don't like y'all, and you ain't never been able to figure out what is it about you. I'm telling you what it is about you. It's the fact that you're an individual.
Everybody gonna start hating on you, man, when you just doing better than them.
Spirit of manipulation can't stand that.
People is out here going crazy. They eating up each other like Dahmer. People is losing their fucking mind, man.
It seeks people that feel like they need somebody else to make them happy.
When you start becoming successful, dog, you're going to start seeing it for yourself. When you start focusing on your vision, when you got something that you're giving your attention to that means a lot to you, and you really love it more than you love a person, they going to feel the energy off of you.
It seeks out people that feel like they need validation from other people.
Everybody dumbed down. That's what they doing to everybody. They dumbing everybody down. And they doing it right in front of y'all niggas' faces.
If you don't know who you is, baby, you are prey to these spirits.
So how do we escape being tricked or trapped by these spirits?
You don't need nobody but the God that's on the inside of you. All you need is God, baby.
Even my own mama. I hate to say this, and I love my mama.
Because they finna get ready to switch up on you.
Everybody gonna start hating on you, bro.
Because this spirit love to get its way. And when it cannot get its way, you got you know what on your hands.
Even my own mama lost it the other day. She lost it. She lost it.
You'll be like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
She lost her mind, dog. My mama was talking to me. It wasn't even her. It was something inside of her talking shit to me. I said, you ain't my mama. I'm telling y'all, it's real out here, man. These demons is real. They walking upon the earth, dog, because they know their time is up, dog. People gonna hate on you for no reason at all. These people are losing their fucking mind. They talk about all the hospital beds is filled up because of this. Y'all already know what they're saying because of... No, niggas going crazy. You ain't gonna be able to trust nobody. It's gonna feel like, damn, I can't get that close to this person because it's the way they come off. It's different. When you start exposing who you are and your potential and your accolades, when you start telling people your story and shit and what you've been through and how you overcame it, when you start telling them things that you used to have and, you know, how great you was and, you know, your skills and your abilities, when you start doing that shit, people gonna start saying, behind closed doors, they're gonna start saying, I don't even like them no more. I thought I liked them. Because they not gonna like you because they're gonna start despising you. They're gonna start hating you. They demons is gonna come out. I'm telling you, this is how this shit work. The demons will start coming out of people when you start doing good. When you start becoming successful, when you start being focused on your vision. The demons is gonna come out of a person. They not gonna be able to hide who they truly are. When they flip on you, don't tell nobody Big Brother didn't tell you. Chosen One's gonna be the only one left. Comment below if you got people flipping on you right now. I just want to see from a show of hands if you got some people that's flipping on you for no apparent reason at all. And you're just like, what did I do? And they don't even want to explain it to you. They don't even want to explain it to you. They like, well, I don't know what you did. Go away, you scare me. Go away, you are scary. Damn, bitch, you crazy. Decepticons. You gotta start hanging out with people that's on your same level, man. Because if you start associating yourself with people that you grew up with, people that ain't doing nothing when they live, bro, they gonna steal, kill, and destroy. They're gonna either try to steal from you, they're gonna try to either kill you, or they're gonna try to destroy your ass. Because they envy you. So like I told y'all in my recent videos, you're going to have to start doing new things, man. Some of y'all still stuck in the same shit, around the same people, in the same environments. If you know you elevating, you got to move the fuck away. Damn, Damn your job. Quit your job. Leave that bitch and go get you something else. Fuck it. It's worth it. I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. Damn. Who gonna escape? Where is the Harriet Tubmans at? Everybody that wanna work for massa. Ain't nobody on my level. And that's fine.
The chosen ones as a collective have been receiving DNA activations, upgrades in all areas of your lives, and also feeling very lonely because, you know, you have been set apart.
So you gonna have a lot of people that's just not on your level, man. They just gonna hate you because of you being you. Because you love to go in nature and pick up turtles. And they don't.
If we focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can become and on fulfilling the purpose that we came to fulfill, we will find ourselves magically aligned with the true soul tribe that was always meant to be ours.
And share this video if you're a real one, man. Listen, I'm telling y'all, this is why everybody hates you. It's because you're doing good. You're doing something with your life. They don't understand how you're doing it. So the only thing they know how to do is just hate on you. Hey, I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace, peace, peace.